Could you please tell me your name?
Barbara Shanklin,
When did you move to Greenhills?
1938.
About how old were you then? How old? No.
5.
Okay. Do you remember it at all when you moved?
No, I don't remember it at all.
All right. So you don't really remember where you lived before, or you don't have memories of it, but you.
Before I moved to Greenhills,
Yeah.
we moved from Washington, D.C. to Auburn, Mount Auburn, and then my dad applied to get into Greenhills and was approved, and we moved in. It has it in the back of this book. Am I taking too long?
No, take your time.
I know it was 38, but I don't know the month. Yes, I do know the month. September
September of 38.
38, yes.
Yeah, so you were very early residents. of
Yes,
Interviewee.
yes.
It opened in 1938. Did the Depression play a role in your family moving from Mount Auburn to Greenhills?
Probably so, probably so. Because everybody made the same, had to make the same amount of money to move here. So it was great. It was just a great place to be raised.
Yeah. Do you think that can you just say more about how that affected everyone's lives? The fact that everyone made about the same amount of money?
Sure, there was no competition in dressing. You know, you had to keep up with the Joneses. We didn't have to. We had not food stamps, but green stamps that you had to buy food with. We were limited because of the war also. And it was just great. We traded stamps with our neighbors, or whoever needed something, we traded stamps with them, and it was great. It really was just great.
What about Greenhills attracted your family to it? Did your parents ever tell you that?
No, they didn't. Now, my brother will probably tell you. He remembers that. I don't. I don't remember any of that.
Okay. What was your house like in Greenhills?
We moved to Briarwood, and it was a duplex, and we had 3 bedrooms and a bath upstairs, and then downstairs, and we had the basement. Then we moved to the model home, which was 7 Andover, and that was, it had 4 bedrooms, 2 up and 2 down, and a screened-in porch, and a full basement. In fact, it was the largest basement in Greenhills at that time, so we always held New Year's parties there. We never knew at Christmas time how many people we'd have for dinner, because people just dropped in to say hello, you know, and wish you a Merry Christmas. So we had, it was great. We didn't have to make appointments to go visit somebody. We just went. And they were glad to see us.
So this was a very tight
Yes,
community.
yes, it was great. It was just great. We looked forward to the Fireman's Carnival. That was a big event held over in the marketplace right over here across the street. They always gave away raffled off a car. And I can remember one year, the person they called, you had to be there, and the person they called wasn't there, and they had to draw again, and you know whose name they drew? Mine. But the person who they got first showed up. I guess somebody went home and got them. But the reason I know that is because my best friend's father was in the drawing, and he told me that. Isn't that awful? Back then, that was a fortune, you know. But the swimming pool, we lived at the swimming pool, and walked home dead tired because we'd go in the morning and come home at 5 o'clock and just drag. But it was fun. It was really, really a great place to be raised. I've never found a friendlier town yet.
I'd like to know just a little bit more about your family.
Okay.
What did your father do for work?
My father worked for the government. In fact, my father was on the, let's see. He was on the fire department, and he was on, the credit union.
And what about your mother?
My mother was a housewife. Mhm.
Okay. And did you have siblings? Well, you have a brother. Did you have other siblings?
I had 2 brothers and 2 sisters. Mhm. My baby sister was born here, late in life.
Right. So activities in Greenhills. You mentioned a few festivals, swimming at the pool. Were there other community activities that you participated in?
I can't remember, really. That's been a long time ago.
Or what would you and your friends do in your free time?
Oh, we'd play in the woods. We'd come up here and roller skate in the marketplace. They have a great big concrete slab over there, and we'd roller skate over there. There was a hill that we went sledding back behind Briarwood Lane, really. And fireworks on July 4th. Everybody around all the neighborhoods came to the fireworks up on the American Legion. That was great. But my father was very active in the fire department. That was a big, big thing. Big
Right.
thing.
He was a
Yeah.
volunteer.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And what about school? So how long did you go to school here in Greenhills?
I started in kindergarten and I graduated in 1952.
What were some of your experiences?
Oh, in school, sports. I played all sports. I loved sports. I hung out with my brother and his friend. In fact, one time they were playing Batman up at Greenhills by the drugstore and grocery store up there. And they flew into the glass and broke the glass. So it's just things like that I remember, you know. But mostly we hung out at the swimming pool.
Did you have any memorable teachers or classes at the school here?
Well, let me see if I can think of the names. I had one teacher, and Mrs. Lowe, she was something else. In fact, she took one of the basketball players, a big guy, and bent him over the desk and swatted him with a paddle 3 or 4 times.
Was that common?
This time, a time that you wouldn't get by with that, but she did. She got by with it.
Do you remember what she taught?
She taught, Mrs. Lowe taught history. I believe she taught history.
All right.
I think so.
How do you feel your education in Greenhills?
Oh, I think it was
impacted
wonderful.
you?
I think it was wonderful, yeah. Yeah.
I think it's
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit more about who lived in Greenhills. Like about your friends, for example.
Well, we had dear friends, Morrissey's. In fact, I remember one Christmas Eve, I don't know what time it was, but we all woke up, all my brothers and sisters woke up, and my parents weren't there. So we leaned out the window and yelled, "Mrs. Oakes, Mrs. Shanklin," that's my name. And they were right next door, visiting. Like I said, they visited, you could visit anybody anytime, and people just welcomed you. It was just great. It was great.
Would you say that everyone who lived in Greenhills had a lot in common? You said
yes.
Socioeconomically they certainly did, but do you think in other ways they had a lot in common too?
I don't. They were just. We were all the same. Really, we were all the same, and I don't think anybody disliked anybody. Coach Howard was one of my favorite teachers, and he was just a coach, but he helped us out in our the women's sports. With basketball, the girls played basketball, but we could only go up one half of the floor. You had the guards on one end and the forwards on the other end, and you couldn't go past the center line. So. And we played soccer. People don't believe that, but we played soccer back then, and I loved it, but I loved all sports. But we played field hockey and baseball. We visited the high schools around, Wyoming, North College Hill, Mont Healthy, and played sports, and we played intramural sports also. But we used to walk to Mont Healthy because it's only, I don't know how many miles. But we used to walk to Mont Healthy and just hang out with our friends over there.
What about Cincinnati? Did you travel to Cincinnati often?
We had a bus that went down to Cincinnati, and we took it and dressed up with white gloves, heels. Many a times I had to stop in Baker's down there and buy a pair of flats because my feet hurt so bad. Yes, we did, but mainly we didn't have to travel out of, unless we had something special we wanted to buy, like a prom dress and that.
But you would dress differently when you went to
Cincinnati. Yes, we had to dress up, yes. Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yes. Yes, we were quite the dressers back then.
But here, how would you dress? How was that different from...
Well, you see how I'm dressed now.
More casually?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yes.
When you would play with your friends, would you play in mixed groups or mainly just with members of your own gender?
Like I told you, I followed my brother and his friend around too, but I had lots of girlfriends that we would play. We'd play like we were one of the movie stars. We'd take a movie star and we'd play movie stars. We'd play kick the can. We'd play hide and go seek. We'd play Red Rover, I dare you to come over. But at night, that's what we'd do at night. And very few people had a car. We didn't have a car till I was in high school. So my father rode to work with friends, and in fact, one time my sister and I decided to take my father's car, and he always parked at the same spot. And we drove around the block. I was just learning how to drive. Came back and somebody took our spot. And we thought, oh my goodness, what are we going to do? Well, we parked in the back and we had to confess to my dad that we took the car. But he understood. There wasn't traffic back then like there is today, so it was no danger really. But there were parks behind where we lived that had swings and slides, and you could play baseball there, and we did that. That was right behind the house on Andover. there was a park with swings, and we played back there quite a bit. But there was all kinds of little parks. They weren't real big, but they were little. And we had Gabbert's Pond where we ice skated, and that was down off of Winton Road, but we could walk through the woods. There was no danger like there would be today.
Yes, you had a lot of options.
We did. We had a full life, yes.
What about some other places around Greenhills? Do you, you've mentioned several. What about the pharmacy or the co-op grocery? Do you have any strong memories of those as well?
Yeah, I remember the pharmacy. In fact, my boyfriend worked in the pharmacy at that time. But we would run over, because it had a fountain also, and we would run over there after school and sit and have ice cream or a Coke or something and talk. And the grocery store was owned by one of my good friends that I graduated with, and also the food locker down below, where you could go buy meat, frozen meat for your locker and everything. And the thing I most remember is you could buy ground beef, and they would slice it with their slicer frozen, so you'd have patties, and that way, you'd have your hamburger patties.
When did you leave Greenhills?
When did I leave? Let's see. After I got married, we lived here, and my son was, he went to kindergarten here and part of first grade. So it had to be in he was born in 55 and 6. About 1961, I believe, when we moved to Deer Park.
So still fairly close by.
Yes, yes.
Greenhills, okay. So Greenhills was built as this experiment, right? It was a planned community. Do you think that impacted the way people saw Greenhills or the way they interacted with it?
Oh, yes,
You think
yes,
so? How so?
almost definitely, yes.
How so?
I don't know. I don't know. It was just,
The feeling?
yeah, it was great. I mean, people were just really, we understood each other and cared about each other, and now it's entirely different than it was back then. Like I said, people would drop in for Christmas dinner. You never know how many you'd have at your dinner table, and welcomed it.
Yeah. What about politics or political alignments? Did that play a role in the community or the way people interacted?
I don't believe so.
You don't believe
I don't
so?
believe so. No.
Do you think that, again, because this was a planned community, do you think that it was used the way it was intended? That everything that was planned for, that it worked?
I don't know whether I should even mention it or not. But I think towards the end, before they sold all the houses and everything, they kept a lot of people out of Greenhills, and I don't think that was right. But that's just the way it was, and I guess that was somewhat politics back then too. I didn't realize it until I thought about it.
Right, and when that major shift happened, you had already left, right? Once the community became integrated. Do you think that people who lived here in the earlier years, like you did, do you think that they were aware that it was like a segregated community?
Oh, yes.
There was
Oh, yes.
awareness of it? Was it something that was often talked about?
Can I talk openly?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was going to ask you about it again.
Okay. We had a family that came, and they said they lived down on Winton Road, and they said they were Mexicans. And their children came, and the, what do I want to call, the board, I guess, checked them out, and they were not.
They weren't approved?
And so they had to drop out of school and go somewhere else.
Do you remember about when that happened?
Don't.
No, but it was when you were living here?
Yeah, they were in school with me, so it was,
So they had to
you know, it happened before 52.
And do you remember if they had to leave just in the middle of the school year?
Whenever they found me, yes, yeah. So, you know, it was really, and they were nice people, they were real nice people, so.
Yeah. Let's see. What about the Second World War? You mentioned rationing earlier briefly, but do you have any other strong memories of the impact of the Second World War in this community?
Oh, I can remember coming out of school and they said that Pearl Harbor was bombed, and we couldn't believe it. Oh, that's impossible. But no, and then the memorial out in front, you know, a lot of my friends were in the service, and a lot of them were killed also. And that memorial is dedicated to them.
Do you remember when soldiers returned from the war at all? Do you have any memories of that?
No, I don't.
And what about the Cold War as well? Do you have, so from the post-war period to the time you moved, do you remember the Cold War impacting Greenhills at all?
I don't. I'm sorry, but I don't. I just don't. I didn't even think about that when I was living here. Didn't even think about it.
What about keepsakes from Greenhills after you moved? Did you keep anything that really reminds you of Greenhills, and what was that, if so?
No, I have, all my memories are inside. No, I was not a keeper of stuff. This book was given to me by a good friend. Their mother had passed away, and it belonged to their mother, but they didn't have anything to do with Greenhills, so they didn't think it would, you know, be any use to them. So they knew I was from Greenhills, and so they gave it to me.
So what would you say that you miss the most about growing up in Greenhills?
The friendliness.
The friendliness?
It was just absolutely great. It was great. There was no, like I said, there was no competition. You didn't have to go out and buy a car because the next door neighbors had one. And they didn't look down on you for not. You didn't have to wear the best of clothes. We just weren't that type. We didn't envy people that had a little bit more than we did.
And do you think that was true the entire time you were living here? What about when, in the early 50s?
No, I think it changed when they sold Greenhills.
You think so?
Yes, I think it was. It was not as friendly, and no, it changed quite a bit then, yeah.
The switch to home ownership in the early 1950s. Could you maybe describe that change a little bit more? Just the lack of friendliness, but what else?
Well, you didn't have people visiting you like they did. You didn't, the swimming pool, it was entirely different. The people were different because it was, it just, I don't know, it just, I've forgotten a lot about what went on, really. I haven't sat down to think about it even.
Yeah. It's okay. When you say the people were different, do you mean socioeconomically?
Yes. Yeah.
So you think that changed the culture?
Oh,
of the
yes,
community?
yes, most definitely, yeah. And that happened before I graduated, so.
Let's talk a little bit more. You've mentioned it a few times, playing sports in school. So those were organized sports, correct?
Yes, mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And was there anything that you mentioned that the rules for basketball were a little bit different for girls? Were there any other? Was there anything else that girls couldn't do that boys could? I mean, I imagine like tackle football, but
No.
anything else?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I do remember when we were fighting Lincoln Heights for the championship in basketball, our guys, you know, and we'd go down to, where did we go? Maybe it was Cincinnati Gardens where we played basketball. I'm not positive. But Lincoln Heights was so neat. They would get up and dance, and their cheerleaders were so nice, and I was a cheerleader, by the way. And but they were our big competitor. They won practically every what we call Mill Creek Valley Organization or something like that, Mill Creek, and but we had real good. But we had boys that were. We had two guys on the basketball team, maybe 6'2" and 6'1", something like that. And we thought they were humongous. Now they're shrimps. Now they're short.
What about, were you involved in like any religious organization, or did you go to church in the community?
Yes, Greenhills Presbyterian Church. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Would you say that you were how would I put this? What about the religious demographics of the community? Was everyone?
We had two churches.
Two churches.
Presbyterian and the Catholic. Mm-hmm.
And would you say that was more of an even split, or there were more of one or the other, or hard to tell?
I think it was really hard to tell. Yeah, it was really hard to tell.
And I understand that when the community was first built, that all church services were actually in this building, correct?
Yes, yes.
Do you remember that?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And
And in the
churches,
auditorium.
right?
Uh-huh.
At different times.
Right,
So do you think
right.
that went well? Like both churches got along perfectly
Oh,
well?
yeah.
And everyone?
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah.
Do you know of anyone that wasn't Christian that lived in the community that practiced another religion? Or
No, I don't.
you don't?
I don't. Mm-mm.
Did you have a job? When you mentioned your boyfriend in high school had a job. Did you have like an after-school job or anything?
Nope. Babysat. That's about all we could do, really, was babysit.
Would you say that, like you've described this really positive experience of growing up in Greenhills, but did you feel like there were any downsides when you were here, to living here?
No.
No?
Mm-mm. Nope. I was quite content. Quite content.
Did you ever feel isolated living all the way out here?
No.
No?
Because I was, this was home, period. This was home, and nope, I didn't. We could do anything anybody else could if we lived closer into town, but.
When you finally moved away from Greenhills, you said around 61, did you notice any glaring differences then between where you moved and here?
No, because Greenhills had started to change anyway by the time I moved. And Deer Park was just as friendly. Yeah, just as friendly. yeah.
Do you often come back to Greenhills?
Every once in a while. My brother lives, actually my sister-in-law lived here, and we'd visit with her quite a bit, and now my brother has bought that house, and so we go back there to visit. Mm-hmm.
Do you think that Greenhills has continued to change since you left as well?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not the same place at all. It just isn't kept up as nice as it was.
Sure.
Yeah. Nicholas Bates was in charge of Greenhills maintenance, and he was just absolutely great. Absolutely great. There's a guy that worked on cars. His name was Whitey Rule, and anytime you needed your car worked on, you took it right over here to his garage that he had over here. Did you know there was a jail over there also?
I have heard that. Other interviewees, actually. Do you have any strong memories?
No. Other than they locked me up in it one time, and it scared me to death. Oh, I was so scared because I was afraid of policemen.
Sure.
I was afraid of them, and
Would you mind telling me a little bit more about that? I'm very curious.
Oh, well, they did it as a joke.
Oh.
Yeah, they did it as a joke, and I was so scared. Oh, but because it was dark and dingy, and it's right over there. I think it's still over there.
Yeah, in the basement of the fire station.
Yeah,
police station,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Okay.
uh-huh.
Yeah, we finally started to get a feel for the town.
Yeah, yeah.
About how old were you when that happened?
Oh, I probably in high school.
High school. And that was a joke played on you by the police?
No.
Oh, okay.
They had to go get the police to unlock it.
So by friends?
Yeah, friends.
That's. Did you all often play pranks on each other?
Oh, yes, yeah. My brother will tell you all kinds of stories. I mean, he has them. So you got to make sure you interview my brother.
Sure.
Yeah, you got to make
He's on
sure.
our list. Go ahead.
I did have a quick question for you. So before you were talking about how you got to do all these sports, and so far between your interviews and my own interviews, you're actually the first woman that we've talked to that mentioned sports.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And
Oh,
so,
I'm just a sports enthusiast.
Yeah.
I just love them, and I went to Miami and I played field hockey up there, and those girls were big. But I wanted to be a physical therapist, and so I had to take 2 years of sports. What would I call it?
PT or
Phys ed.
Yeah.
Phys ed. And but I played them all. I really enjoyed sports, and I still do.
So I have this envisionment of you growing up like a tomboy.
Yeah, I was.
Versus, so more in comparison to the other girls in the town. Were you more casually dressed, and other girls would wear like more dresses and things like that, or were you still had to be prim and proper and things like that?
Oh no.
Yeah.
We very seldom wore slacks. Very, very seldom. We wore skirts and sweaters or dresses, and no, I don't even know if I owned a pair of jeans back then. After we got in high school, of course, it changed, but no, we, in fact, one time our physical education teacher decided we were going to wear uniforms. They were horrible. Green, one-piece uniforms. They were awful, but we wore them. But only for a year, then they did away with them.
See, I'm curious now too, because I've been thumbing through some of the yearbooks that they have here. On the day you'd have your picture made, would you all get especially dressed up? Do you think that was kind of out of the ordinary, how everyone was made up for those pictures, or do you have any?
No, I think that's really the way. I wore a skirt and sweater to have they voted for people most popular, best all around. Well, I was best all around, and so I wore a sweater and skirt for the picture, and saddles. Saddles were in then. We had to have Spalding saddles.
Interesting.
Brown and white Spalding saddles.
When you've mentioned a few times that just, everyone in Greenhills was the same, everyone had a lot in common, do you think that also applied to how people presented themselves?
I'm sorry.
How people presented themselves, either how they dressed, how they did their hair, how they got their hair cut?
Mm-hmm. In fact, my mother did a lot of the women's hair. Mm-hmm. She was not a beautician, she just was good at it, and she did a lot of her friends, anybody really who wanted to.
Interesting. Was that common too, that when someone just had a skill, whether formally or informally, they helped everyone out?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Can you think of any other examples of that? Your mother's a great one. That's
No,
really
I don't. We did have my brother's wife's mother sold eggs down here, and she lived in one of the farms in Greenhills, and she sold eggs, and they were good. They were good. In fact, we'd walk up to their farm and pick grapes and help them with their cattle and hay and everything. So, and then we'd buy chickens from another farmer who had a chicken farm, Elders, and I went up one day and one Saturday, and he was slaughtering his chickens, and I didn't pay any attention. He said, "See that chicken over there? That's yours." And here this chicken was running around without a head. Oh! Needless to say, the next day I could not eat chicken. And we had chicken practically every Sunday.
Really?
We had fried chicken. It was that's just the way it was. Fresh fried chicken was really good, really good.
You mentioned the farms. Did Greenhills have a close relationship with the farms?
Yes.
Here? And I understand that some of the children that lived on the farms would also
Took the buses to come
here.
to Greenhills, yes.
Did any of your friends?
Oh, yes. I had a dear friend that her and her twin sister both came. Well, her whole family came here, really. And the chicken farmer, his family all came here, too.
Did they interact well with the other
Oh,
students?
sure.
They fit in?
Real well.
Interesting.
Is it the Lamples by any chance?
Yes, Mike Lample,
I interviewed Marion Lamples.
Oh, okay, yeah.
She talked about the chicken farms and stuff like that.
In fact, my one friend, she was voted the most popular in our class. She was a dear person. She is a dear person. She's still alive.
So it's interesting that you mentioned this positive relationship with the kids from the farm, because we've heard different stories from
really?
different people. So we've heard you and Mary. I interviewed Mary, and she said, "Oh yeah, we had a great relationship." And then the people that we've talked to that moved to Greenhills later on said there was almost this cultural divide. They looked
really?
different. They farm kids and farm kids. And it's surprising. I mean, it's great that you have this great relationship.
Sure.
So you never felt that there was any sort of differentiation?
No difference at all.
It's great to hear. And that could be a reflection of times change.
Yeah, because I think the people who said that were a little bit later.
Yeah, as well.
It's interesting. So more on when you left Greenhills, what brought you away from Greenhills? Why did you move to Deer Park?
My husband was from Deer Park, and we bought our first house in Deer Park.
How did you guys meet?
Please?
How did you meet, you and your husband?
At GE, when I went to work at GE after I left college.
Where did you go to college?
Miami.
You mentioned that.
Logan Hall,
And
Miami. I don't know if it's still there. I wouldn't even know Miami now.
One of my colleagues went there as an undergrad, so it's still thriving from what I understand.
My granddaughters went to UC.
Did they? It's a great
I never miss a game.
Finally, before we wrap up the interview, I just want to know if there's anything about Greenhills that you would want to talk about that I couldn't think to ask.
I can't think of a thing, really. I really can't. I just love it, and I miss those times, those times.
Yeah. No, it sounds like that Greenhills shaped the way you view what community means. So that, do you think that was unique at the time?
Oh, most definitely. Yeah. We used to always fight with Wyoming because they'd come up the pool and try to take over the pool. And then we had a little guy from Mount Healthy, and he rode a little scooter. He was a little person, and he was so neat, and I cannot remember his name. And we ran with him, the group ran with him, but he'd ride his little scooter over here to Greenhills from Mount Healthy, and no.
By scooter, at least. Okay.
But the Greenhills Fireman's Carnival was the big event in Greenhills. I mean, everybody looked forward to that.
And I've even heard that some of the bigger events here, that and the 4th of July fireworks, people would actually come from...
Oh, all over, yes, all over. I mean, that hill over there, you couldn't, it looked like ducks over there, it was just filled. And they were beautiful. They were beautiful fireworks.
Okay, well, I'd really like to thank you for speaking with me.
Oh, well, thank you. I'm sure I didn't contribute much, but...
You did. So thank you so much.
Thank you.